tell me what to do. Know who you're talking to. But you better get used to the way the ball bounces. I see what you got, inventions and ounces. But that's a break, boy. Yeah, that's a...
Welcome back to this episode of Cope's Corner. I am your host, as always, Mike Copenaber, aka Real Mike. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook at Cope's Corner, KOPESKORNER. Stoked to be here with you to talk about some MMA in our lives with my man, Mr. B, the MMA guy, Periscope OG legend, and my new co-host for the show, as it may seem lately, because we just keep cashing bets, and I need him back every week after we keep rolling, because we haven't lost the damn bet since we've been together. So it's just like I gotta keep begging him back for you guys, so we keep cashing those bets. Sorry about the little bit of glitch on the intro. I don't know what Haps was doing. It literally counted down like 15 seconds or so and then glitched for us, huh, Mr. B? So
Yeah.
Nice to have you here, man.
Hey, man. Glad to be here again, man.
You're on,
man.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's nice to have you here, dude. And like always, dude, we're coming back after cashing bets, and it did not change. Last week's UFC 266, we absolutely dominated, and then we'll jump into that. But first and foremost, I want to thank my sponsors. So I'm going to jump us out, and we'll give them a little bit of love. The first sponsor that I would like to thank is Melon Brand Hats. It's MELIN. It's a luxury line of hats that my boy Brian McDonald came up with in high school. He talked about how he'd have a line of hats that would be different from anything else you've ever seen. Different materials, really cool stuff. They're waterproof, some of them. Some have suede bills underneath. Some have leather bills on top. I can't say enough good things about the stuff over here. Right now, since this is a new show for Cope's Corner and we've rebranded everything, I'm doing a giveaway. So once we hit 500 followers on our Twitter at Cope's Corner, KOPESKORNER, I'm going to give away any of the $59 Hydro hats that they have. So make sure you go and give us some love on Twitter and like and subscribe. And with that said, just can't thank Melon Brand Hats enough. Secondly, I'd like to thank Fokai Stuff. It's FOKAI. Stuff.com. It's Guamanian gear. Really cool stuff, man. They sponsor Crank the Frank Camacho, Brandon the Truth Vera, always. My boy Herman Torado, a game bred training facility down in San Diego. Here at Cope's Corner, they have baby blankets, hats, shirts, blankets. It's just amazing stuff. Socks, doormats. It's all from Guam, and make sure you go over there and give them some love, because they're really good people. If you don't know any Guamanians, they're just really, really nice people. So thirdly, I'd like to thank Spliff Seeds Amsterdam. It's SPLIFF Seeds. It's a medical, or it's genetic line of MJ. And the picture here is of Lemon Cream Kush female. It's of an actual picture of a plant that I grew. It's on the cover of a book on Amazon of a famous grower in the UK named Sean Prana, Prana. So shout out to Sean for having my picture on the cover. So make sure you go get yourself some genetics for the growing season. I'd like to thank the 87 you here live with me and Mr. B. Like I said, sorry for that little glitch in the beginning, but sometimes that happens when you're doing stuff like we are. So now I'll jump into, let's see. 1 second. There we go. Now we could jump into last week's UFC 266, which was actually really excited, man. I had a blast. Me and my friends here were screaming, going nuts over a lot of the things that were going on. Volkanovski versus Ortega was the main event. And like I said, we won't go through every single thing, because me and Mr. B, we get long-winded on some of these things, and we'll be here for a good 2 hours. Appreciate you being here. Oh, the other sponsors I'd like to thank. I have Ted Hicks from Late Night Parents. I appreciate you, my dude. Justin L. from Vancouver. My boy Kick Your Ass, Ryan Richardson. Kick Your Bass, Ryan Richardson, professional fisherman extraordinaire. And then my newest sponsor since UFC 266 was such a success, a dude from San Diego named Stuart Sun, who I can't thank enough for supporting the show. He also donated $175 to the show for just cashing the bets that he did. He also sent a couple bet slips in of him cashing some sick parlays. So shout out to Stuart Sun, one of our newest sponsors. And I can't thank all you guys enough for making the show what it is. But the next fight of the night was Matt Selzenberger took on Martin Sanyo. And we told him, Mr. B, I go out there and I call people a bum. They're usually a bum. They're a hobo. They should be on the streets. I called Martin Saniel a bum. I for sure said it. I said Matt Selzenberger was going to KO TKO him, and he sure as hell did that 15 seconds in round one. Right cross, just smoked the kid, TKO KO. Hope you guys cashed any of those bets on those props. That fight was sick, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah, definitely was. For as short as it was good.
like a Mike Tyson bout just ended real quick. But the next fight of the night was Nick Diaz's boy, who we were actually fond of. Martin Saniel was his friend, but he didn't do his friend any favors in his last bout. But he did his friend a favor here. Nick Maximov took on Cody Brundage and absolutely just dominated him 3 rounds, unanimous decision. Not one judge gave the other guy a round. So Nick Maximov looked pretty good, but that was Cody Brundage. So you can't give him too much credit. The next fight of the night was Jalen Turner took on Uros Medic, and Jalen Turner did his thing. Too long, too strong. Submission by rear naked choke in round 1. Jalen Turner doing big things, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah. Like that fight a lot, man. Props to Jalen Turner. He turned it up when he needed to, and got that finish, man. Big improvements on them takedowns and whatnot, man. Really poured it on Medic. And got that finish, that rear naked choke.
Yep, and so so with that fight, the next fight of the night was Talia Santos took on Roxanne Modafferi, and Roxy old dog, she doesn't have it. Her old hips with hip dysplasia, and I don't know the shadow boxing she does in the ring. It's just gross, 3-round decision. Talia Santos dominating unanimous decision. What could you say about that fight? We're not going to jump into it. But the next bout was our first bet of the night. It was our boy, Chris Daukaus, took on Shamil Abdurakhimov. And what did we say, dude? Put that money down on Chris Daukaus, cash that butt, KO TKO right across the ground strikes in round 2. Big boys doing big things. Chris Daukaus, man, I'm so stoked on him. Cash that bet for Cope's Corner and Mr. B. $100 in the bank, plus 1 unit on a roll. It's just what we've been doing, Mr. B. It's crazy, right?
Yep, absolutely.
If you watch the show enough, you would know that it's just insane at the rate we're firing, man. And you got to watch the show to stay tuned for these winners. But that was the first win of the night for UFC 266, and things continued on down the road. Next fight of the night was Dan Hooker took on Nasrat Haqparast. And man, we both agreed that Dan Hooker would be a little bit too long and have a little too much heart for Nasrat Haqparast. It was a good fight between the two of them. But the first round, Nasrat looked decent, but the next 2, Dan Hooker kind of turned it up. Unanimous decision win for Dan Hooker. Looked real good. Thank you for the nice view award, Aaron Weinbaum. I appreciate you a ton. Thank you so much, Mel B, as well, for always supporting us with the Appreciate Award. And I really can't thank you guys. Nick Diaz looked like he got asked if he wanted dessert and said, "Nah, I'll take the check." Yeah, Nick Diaz did not look good, man. I was sad seeing him quit in there. I know people have other words about it, but we'll jump into it a little bit later. Dan Hooker, like I said, took on Nasrat Haqparast and dominated him all 3-round decision. And then the next fight of the night was our next bet of the night. It was Merab Dvalishvili versus Marlon Magic Moraes. And our boy Merab faced a little bit of heat in that first round, and I knew he would if he didn't jump for the takedowns and do what he does best on the ground. And like I said, Marlon Moraes had me scared, Mr. B. How about you?
Yeah, I was petrified for a bit.
Marlon
looked like his old self for a quick second there.
Oh,
man,
bro, I was so scared, man. I was so glad that Merab was composed enough to, to get space. Some people are saying he was running. What the fuck do you expect me to do when I just got rocked and kicked and shit? I'm running to get some air so I can think about what has happened. I give him mad credit for Merab to be able to overcome that knockdown by Magic Marlon Moraes because it was scary and hairy, bro. A lot of people would have probably stopped the fight. Some refs, you give or take a ref they might have, but either way, he faced that adversity, and the reason why I bet on him was his cardio and heart. And Merab Dvalishvili showed the reason why we bet on him. Cash that bet. KO TKO to ground and pound in round 2. Another $100 cash for Cope's Corner. Another 1 unit added to the bankroll. It's just how we go. It's how we do. That was a good fight, huh, Mr. B?
Yep. Props to from Merab, as you said, surviving that onslaught and then just coming out, man, and just playing the game plan and just wearing down Marlon.
I was so scared, bro. It was crazy how
Yeah.
scared I was. I was not even a lie. I was scared. I was, but I knew he
Yeah.
had the heart and cardio to come through. And he sure as heck did that. So cash that bet. Plus $200 for the show. Already on UFC 266. That was the two bets for the night. So we were already rolling with $200 and 2 units in the bankroll, baby. So let's fucking go. The next fight of the night was Jessica Andrade took on Cynthia Calvillo, and Jessica Andrade did exactly what I thought she would do. She would take Cynthia Calvillo and just eat that peach. She dominated that ass. I might have even said something similar to that last week, but
Yeah,
I
you
don't want to
did.
get into it might have been offensive to some people, but we don't want to get into it because we don't need any crying
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
QQing. But Jessica Andrade did domination on Cynthia Calvillo's face, made a churro out of her. We were talking about that during the fight. We were making jokes. Curtis
Yeah.
Blades was the next fight of the night. The main card took on Jairzinho Rosenstruck. And holy shit, I wish I wouldn't have watched it. I wish I didn't see it. It was the most boring 3-round affair. It was Curtis Blades has done this before to us. And I mean, I don't Curtis Blades won, I guess. They should have fired them both after this fight. We won't even get into it. They were so bad. But do you agree it was a bad fight, Mr. B?
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest of heavyweight fights, man. Not the
Yeah,
greatest.
super boring,
No.
but I appreciate the 106 of you here live and the 4 awards that you guys have given us. Really can't thank you enough for supporting the show. The next fight of the night was absolute chaos, fun. We had the whole house here was just going nuts for Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz. 209 Diaz hasn't seen a fight in 6 years, man. He looked like it. I was kind of sad to see the shape that he showed up in. He didn't have any ferocity, Nick Diaz. He had some combos and he had a few things that looked decent, but man, his overall game was not up to par for a guy like Robbie Ruthless Lawler. He came in to throw those things. Robbie knew that he was in better shape. He knew that Diaz wasn't there all mentally. He won a KO TKO in round 3 versus Nick Diaz. What do you think about this fight, Mr. B?
Yeah, man, you pretty much nailed it there, man. While Nick Diaz came out and he still had, the combinations, he was showing little glimpses of his old self, Robbie was just prepared, man. I think this was just the fight, as we said, to motivate him to come out, guns blazing. And indeed he did. Looked real good defensively. Offensively, of course, those body shots he was digging with, man, those things were nasty.
Yeah, they
Some
were.
of those kicks, those hooks to the body, those shots he was landing on Nick. And it was just crazy to see Nick just say, "Yo, I quit. I'm not doing this no more. I'm not getting up. That's it." Just insane, man. Just if Nick comes back, fight at welterweight, man. Don't fight at don't do middleweight no more, man. Where's my cat?
Is it glitching?
Yeah, it was glitching, but it came back. Oh shoot.
Oh, the wife I wish I could have had. If I could have just picked one to have ninja children. Valentina Shevchenko versus unlucky Lauren Murphy. I called it last week. I said Valentina Shevchenko was gonna just dominate her, piece her up, and holy shit, dude, the combo of punches and kicks that she threw at Valentina's face, Mr. B. How crazy was it?
Oh, nasty, nasty. Valentina's a monster. Who's gonna beat her now, man? I don't know.
I don't know either, man. Yeah, there goes Haps. Thanks, Haps,
man.
glitching.
Yeah,
I don't know if Mr. B's speaking or if my side's glitching, but either way, Valentina Shevchenko absolutely dominated Lauren Murphy. It was just crazy. So the co-main event, she kept her championship belt. She pieced her up. Round 4, KO TKO. Sorry, Mr. B. I don't know what Haps is doing, but it cut you out.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just talking about that. Yeah, she pretty much looked dominant. Just blitzing at the combinations, good shots. Those check hooks were landing. Whatever she wanted to do, she pretty much did. So
it was awesome,
it was just
man.
Like, yeah, it was like wow.
Sorry about that, Mr. B. It literally cut
okay.
your audio out completely, so I just started speaking over the dead air.
It's okay. All good.
I don't want the fans. Thank you, Ryan Richardson, for the high award. I appreciate you, my dude. One of our sponsors, Kick Your Bass on Haps, professional fisherman. absolutely dominates the lakes over there in Kansas City and all over the United States. So make sure you go give him some love, and I appreciate the 124 of you live and the 5 awards that you guys have given us. With that said, the next fight of the night was the main event. Alexander Volkanovski took on Brian T. City Ortega, and we told y'all Alexander Volkanovski is he's just about that life. He's too thick. Used to be a heavyweight. His legs are too strong. His neck was too thick. Brian T. City Ortega had him in a couple of spots where most people would have tapped and napped, man. He had him in a triangle. He had him in a guillotine. He had him in so many things that I couldn't even believe. We were screaming all over the house when Brian T. City Ortega gave us a glimpse of a hope. But Alexander Volkanovski dominated all 5 rounds, in my opinion. The 5th round was probably Brian Ortega maybe coming back a little bit because Volkanovski kind of was a little bit more tired. But it was a great fight, man. Alexander Volkanovski just showed.
Oh, shoot.
It's your boy Yup, and yeah, okay, sure. We all saw the last video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. That fight, yo. I thought Brian had it at some occasions and some points, but damn, man, Volk just showing why he's just levels ahead of the game, man. That's just I don't know what else to say. Ortega had him in that nasty guillotine, that insane triangle.
Oh,
this
man.
Guy broke out of it. Damn,
he had him in guillotine on top position, man, in full mount, in a very, very bad predicament. It was crazy, dude. His neck, like I said, is made of titanium, made of steel. It just did not want to give out, and his just determination. You could see him panicking for a while. He was trying. He wasn't even fighting the choke because he was panicking. So, I mean, literally, he was panicking. He even said it. But somehow he panicked and pushed through, and it didn't even. And he came out of and got out of each of those submission attempts. So it was crazy. That was the main event of UFC 266. Another successful event for Cope's Corner. Cash both bets, $200 plus 2 units of the bankroll. It's how me and Mr. B goes. So tune in every single Wednesday night while we're here cashing bets because we can't stop and won't stop. Well, I mean, why would we stop if we haven't even lost? I can't even tell you the last fighter we lost on because we've just been dominating every single weekend. And now I have a little bit of news. My boy Herman Tirado, won at Bellator vet, PFL vet as well. He owns Game Bred Training Facility down in San Diego, and so he had Sean Strickland down there this week, the other day. He comes down there often and does a little bit of training, and so I got a little bit of inside training of Sean Strickland. And going down. And so I wanted to share this with you guys just so you could hear what a fucking savage Sean Strickland is. Because
what about beating 3 levels at the amateur day? First of all, yes it is.
San Diego, baby. So you want to train with the Warriors, go down to San Diego Game Bred Training Facility and get yourself some. Here we go.
Back out. Keep fighting. 20 seconds. Let's go. Let's fucking 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 go.
That is Sean Strickland and how they train at Game Bred Training Facility, baby. So if you don't know, I just showed you a little bit of inside of what goes down over there at Game Bred Training Facility in San Diego. Absolute savage is Sean Strickland, dude. Those you could get fucking knocked out cold in training, throwing bombs like that. You know what I mean, Mr. B?
Insane, man. Insane.
It wasn't even. You don't even need to see the video. You just hear the audio of him. It was worth it, huh, Mr. B?
The thudding, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and just him just screaming, "Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go, baby!" I love that savagery and he just Sean Strickland. So I just want to share that with you guys. So I hope you guys like that little bit of inside information from Sean Strickland training down Game Bred Training Facility, San Diego, California. My Chet Lu Herman Tirado over there. So shout out to Herman and all the boys over there. So this week we have Bellator 267. Douglas Lima, the favorite Lima brother of mine, versus MVP 2. They fought once before, and they're gonna do it again. Number 1 and number 2 ranked in the Bellator welterweight division. This will be the main event. It'll be on Friday. It's going to be a weird time though, huh, Mr. B? It's going to be 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, so 9:30 Pacific Standard Time for the prelim starting for the Bellator 267. So make sure you guys set your clocks accordingly because you might not see it. And I'm not going through the whole damn thing because there is no way I'm going to. There is so many hogwash fights on there, and this is one of the reasons why I barely bet on Bellator. My brother fought in Bellator, and I still don't even barely like betting on Bellator. It's the co-main event is Leah McCourt. She's taking on Jessica Borga. Leah McCourt, she is a beautiful specimen. I'll tell you that. She calls herself the curse, but I say she's a blessing from God for the way. She has an overall good game. She hasn't had a lot of experience with people with a lot of experience in the sense. She won her last fight by triangle choke in round 2 to a girl, Janae Harding, who's 6-4 in Bellator 259. And Bellator 240, she won a unanimous decision to a girl named Judith Roos, who's 6-4. Other than eye candy and a little bit of skills, it is what it is. She's fighting Jessica Borga, the black.
I'm doing super expert. Get ready to suffer.
Was 3-3, and then she won to win versus a girl in Titan FC, and the girl was 1-1. Both these girls, I don't even know how this is the co-main event. I'm going with Leah McCourt here, just because I think she has a little bit more experience and less downside. But what do you have to say about this fight, Mr. B?
Interesting fight. For the international card, I get why they put Leah McCourt there to get more exposure. She has okay boxing, but she does a lot of better work on the ground. Her submission game, ground and pound, and her top game are pretty much her strengths. More so, Borga could strike. You know what I mean? Borga could strike, but she's a little iffy when it comes to the ground. So if I'm looking at this fight, man, I'm probably looking at this more so with Leah McCourt possibly getting the win here. But it should be a good fight considering they're both on equal ground, I guess. They're 6-4 fights even. 6 each, yeah. And I'm looking more towards seeing Leah McCourt, getting this win here.
Yeah, and like you said, it should be a pretty even matchup, so it should be actually decent to watch. I just, it's a 145-pound division in Bellator. I guess they're trying to build their own division, I guess. But it's just weird because they have a favorite in one of these. But I think Leah McCourt rolls here. Do not.
What we do is we go to endless. Super experts. Look at that. I'm doing super.
One of my favorite teams. ATT Atlanta, Georgia. One of my favorite teams is ATT Florida. Still affiliated with ATT Atlanta, Georgia, but still don't want to mess that up. He last took on.
I'm doing super expert, which I am in no way qualified to play. Like I'm not good enough. What we do is we go to endless. Super expert.
What the hell's happening to Haps, man? Haps keep taking us on and off and cutting us off and all that.
Dude, Haps is.
I'm doing super expert, which I am in no way.
Him going up in weight class versus someone as savage as Gegard Mousasi. Can you hear me, Mr. B?
Yeah, I hear you.
Jeez, dude, it's crazy, bro. I'm gonna harass them while you're talking on your side of this. But yeah, so either way, I like Douglas Lima. He last took on Michael Venom Page. He won in round 2, leg kick the uppercut. Michael Venom Page was doing some kind of flashy stuff when he got caught. athletic, really mobile, just has a really good, diverse striking game. His ground game is probably the only thing that lacks. Douglas Lima has some serious leg kicks. He's got good striking, and I think he's got a better jiu-jitsu game than Michael Venom Page. I got Douglas Lima versus.
Is that it's BS. Like it's just unbeatable. Here's the first one right here. And okay.
Hmm.
Go away. How do you make that jump though? Unbeatable.
Hold up.
Now they can hear me fully.
Okay, I hear you.
Jeez, dude. What are your thoughts?
The person make that. Wait, hold on. I saw that there was a booth.
All right, well,
I must need to.
oh shit, this haps, man.
Is there long
Well,
jumping in this one?
we see.
Long jumping.
Let me see now. Yeah, Lima beat Michael Venom Page the last time they fought during the welterweight Grand Prix. Lima caught him with that uppercut after he caught him with that low leg kick, the low kick. Took away his pretty much his base, then caught him with that uppercut. Knocked him out. This rematch, well, in the first fight though, if I remember correctly, it's crazy because up until that point, man, MVP was kind of winning that fight. He used the reach. Oh shit. He used the reach.
It's me talking shit to them.
Yeah. He had a lot of MVP had he had like the pretty much the striking. He was winning a bit on the striking. He had Lima backed up a little bit. Took the center the cage. Was landing some pretty good strikes on him. As I said, up until that point, up until that kick and that uppercut, man, pretty much. But MVP, diverse striker, can catch you from anywhere as long as it's stand up. He catches you from anywhere. Just dynamic, explosive, rangy. Has somewhat of a jiu-jitsu game that he doesn't really use often. His wrestling game is kind of iffy, as we've seen against Paul Daly. But
Yeah, dude, it's okay.
Lima,
We're so thrown off from Haps's absolute shitty ass fucking streaming abilities right now. I'm too busy talking shit to Peter and Pablo about getting some like actual service or some kind of IT help or something with their damn platform. I can't even have a guest on here all the way across in Brooklyn. I'm in California. I got the best internet. I got the best computer in the world. And Haps is over here bumming it like some slum ass shit in fucking 97 AOL. Get your shit together. Someone. Pablo, Peter. Fucking can't even keep a stream going smooth because you guys the freaking half sucks so bad. Freaking ridiculous. Crazy, man.
yeah,
Sorry,
man.
Mr. B, dude. I just
Nah,
it's
it's
just
alright, man.
it's,
But
it's hard
yeah,
enough. It's hard enough to get a live viewers and do a live show, and you got Haps sucking so much balls it could be a hooker in Vegas. It's freaking a joke. I still appreciate the 150, 70 you hear live and putting up with the absolute dog shit that is the streaming service that's going on right now. If it keeps it up, dude, I'll have to switch to something more professional because it's an absolute joke. AOL 1.0, 2.0 garbage. I might as well have dial up. My upload speeds are crazy. I have 27 upload speed. And Haps Caps can't even hang with my boy in Brooklyn over there. And it's crazy, bro. The screen glitches and gets all fuzzy and blurry. It's just hogwash garbage. Do something about it, Haps. Like you want a sports section? It's just garbage, dude.
it's been acting like this for the past couple of days too,
yeah,
man.
and they're like, oh, we got $5 million that people put it to invest. You put your $5 million, you didn't do shit with it. Nothing, not a damn thing happened. I'm still not having a better stream. It's still going blurry when I show my viewers my screen. It's hogwash garbage, dude. Do something about it, Peter and Pablo. You guys are hiding all over. No, you never pop in. You sure as hell popped in when we were getting 1,000 live views every single time on my last show and more. I mean, it's crazy when you pick and choose who you support. It's like literally like CNN over here. Oh, we love Alex, the CNN dude. We'll get him 1,000.5 views, but he generates $1. He's 1,000.5 views. He generates $1 damn. That's how bad he is at his content. We have quality views over here. Haps is for killing me, dude. Anyways, with that said, let's jump into some real deal events. UFC Fight Night, Santos versus Walker. Since it got me all fired up, I'll get fired up and do some pride shit. UFC Vegas 38, baby. Let's go. The first fight of the night is
Holy
Alejandro
shit.
Perez. He's taking on Johnny Eduardo. Alejandro Perez, my Mexican Chicano. He's taking him on, baby. Call himself Turbo 21-8-1. He's 32 with a 5. He's 5'6" with a 67-inch reach. 2-fight losing streak. Fighting out of Mexico, baby. Last took on Yadong Song and lost in the round 1 by right cross, but that's Yadong Song's been doing damage and things, so can't really hate too much on that. Then he took on Cody Stamen, lost a unanimous decision. And then before that, took on Eddie Wineland, won unanimous decision. And then Matthew Lopez punches round 2. I love Alejandro Perez. Used to train down at Alliance MMA with my boy Eric Del Fiero, my brother's old coach, and then Dom Cruz and all the other people down there. He's taking on Johnny Eduardo. Perez hasn't fought in 2 years, I believe it is. So he's got a 2-year layoff, which I don't like. But he's taking on Johnny Eduardo, who's 28-12. He's 41 years old, this guy. He's 5'7" with a 71-inch reach.
Maybe we go towards the Goomba.
Oh, shit.
Else happens. So we wait, we go this way. Throws it. We're just going to walk slowly. Goomba, and then something else happens. So we wait, we go this way. Throws it.
And look,
shit.
cute. Cap's just clicking me in and out, bro. Did you hear me, Mr. B?
I heard you, then you cut off.
Dude, it's crazy. Mr. B, can you hear me, bro?
I hear you. I hear you
Ryan,
now.
can you hear me, bro? It's fucking
I hear
crazy.
you. You hear me? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's just
This
garbage.
shit is
Either way,
insane.
Johnny Eduardo hasn't fought since 2018. He looked real good in the first round, like I said, and then he just chumped, and you could see the moment where he quit in round 2 versus Nathaniel Wood, folded and gave him the Darce choke and went taparoo. Then he took on Matthew Lopez. He lost round 1 by punches. He's lost by guillotine choke in round 2 by Aljo Sterling. I do not like tappers. I do not like people that are nappers. And so with this said, I'm all Alejandro Perez all day, baby. Bovada right now has Alejandro Perez at the
This is fucking nuts.
What do you say about it, Mr. B?
Haps is off its rocker right now. I'm going with Perez. I'll lean more towards Perez. Both of these dudes haven't been on for quite a while. They haven't fought in a bit. But Alejandro Perez was on a streak until he fought Stamen and Song. While this dude, Eduardo, he's kind of been on the losing, kind of winning, like really spotty, man. And the age difference as well. I think Perez should have the speed advantage in this one. Probably a little bit more movement in the striking. I wouldn't recommend him to get on the ground with Eduardo, but just go ahead and keep this fight standing, and he'll take it, I think.
Yeah,
I think Perez, yeah.
I agree. So if you like Alejandro Perez, I pretty much bet everything on him. I think Johnny Eduardo is going to quit somewhere in round 2, round 3 versus Alejandro Perez. The dude's going to keep bringing that Mexican gas tank, and he's going to dump it all over Johnny Eduardo. The next fight of the night is Shanna Young taking on Stephanie Egger. Shanna Young, she's 7-3. She's 30 years old, and she's 5'7" with a 65-inch reach. She's on a 1-fight losing streak, though, fighting out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So she last took on Macy Chasson up in weight class, I believe that was. Let me see. Nope, that was Chasson's first 135 fight. So Macy Chasson, she lost a unanimous decision to her, and then she won a Invicta FC fight, unanimous decision. She has she wrestled in high school, so she has good, decent wrestling base. Both these girls, this is some low level of women's MMA. Stephanie Egger's 5'2". She's 33 years old. She's 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. She's on a 1-fight losing streak herself.
In the face of true danger, Luigi says, "I'll walk slowly."
Shit, this damn Haps, man.
It's funny, we don't even know what's coming through. She took a girl named Sinja Kiefer on. She won by rear naked choke in round 1. With this fight, man, I think Shanna Young, this is her fight to win. I don't see why she would lose to Egger. Shanna Young is a plus 110 underdog, though, so they're having a slight favorite for Egger. So I got Shanna Young at the plus 110. What do you have, Mr. B?
To be honest with you, man, I don't even know how to gauge this fight, really. Shanna Young's fought a little bit upper caliber opponents, and she has some wrestling. Stephanie Edgar has some jujitsu skills. But they're both kind of like somewhat even as far as the kickboxing aspect goes. Um, I don't know how to gauge this, man, because while Shanna has wrestling, defensive wise, you know what I mean. She's not is not all that great, man. She lost to Alpar on the Contender Series.
Oh,
I
that's so
remember that.
gross. Good point. I totally forgot about
So
that. Holy crap, that's so gross.
yeah,
Do not bet
and
on Shanna
Edgar
Young.
and Edgar lost to Tracy Cortez.
Yep.
So you know what I mean. So they both kind of they kind of okay, but suspect on the ground, and then it's like they're both kind of even on the feet. So I don't know, man. I really don't know where to gauge this fight at. To be honest with you, you know, is it?
We say that's all we can
Yeah,
say.
it's a weird fight to really gauge because they're both even. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
both spotty on the ground. They're both kind of all right on the feet. So I don't really know who to pick in that fight, man.
Yeah, no worries. We don't even care. It doesn't even matter. They're both bad. The battle of the baddies right there. But either way, the next fight of the night is Douglas Andrade taking on Gatinho Perello. Douglas Andrade is De Silva. He called himself 26-4. He's 36 years old though, 5'7" with a 68.5-inch reach. He's on a one-fight losing streak, fighting out of Brazil. Last took on Lerone Murphy, a UK fighter, really, really good, talented dude. He lost a unanimous decision. Can't blame him there. Then he took on Renan Barao and beat him with unanimous decision all 3 rounds. Then he lost Peter Yan corner stoppage round 2. So Douglas Andrade's been in there with Bessem, got really, really good ground game, super strong. He's taken on this Perello as 15-6-1. Gatinho Perello LT Tiger calls himself 29 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. He's on a one-fight losing streak, fighting out of Belgium. He last took on Ricky Simone. He lost an arm triangle choke in round 2. Then he took on some dude named in Europe Beatdown who was 7-5. He won with a liver shot in round 1. You can't really even count some of these fights. His record's so padded. He's tapped a couple times though. He's tapped to the arm triangle choke from Ricky Simone. He's tapped a rear naked choke from a dude named Daniel Requijo, and a rear naked choke and a heel hook in his other in earlier career. I think Perello is going to be outmatched here, and I think Andrade is going to be able to get a submission or just a unanimous decision win. The odds right now have Andrade for -250, +200 for Perello. Who do you have on this fight, Mr. B?
Yeah, I'll stick with you. Yeah, I got Andrade on this one, man. Andrade has been in there already. You know, Perello looks to be all right. He probably good kickboxing, if I remember correctly. Good stand-up striker. But from what I've seen, he couldn't handle that Ricky Simone speed and that takedown much in that debut. I remember Simone pretty much bullied him, and I think Andrade could do the same in this fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just pick his shots, get those takedowns, and just work him on the ground. I think he could pull off the same thing as Simone. Easily.
I totally agree. So Andrade there from both of us is unanimous. The fourth bout of the night will be Jamie Malarkey versus Devontae Smith. This is going to be a good. He's 13-4. He's 27 years young, 6 foot with 74-inch reach. He's on a one-fight win streak, fighting out of South Wales. He last took on Kama Worthy and smoked him. Left hook to ground and pound in round 1. Then he took on Fares Aziem and lost unanimous decision. That was not a good loss because I'm not high on Ziem. And then Brad Riddell, he lost unanimous decision in his first fight in the UFC. That's a tough fight for your first debut fight in the UFC, taking on a guy like Brad Riddell. Devontae Smith.
Oh my God, who gets stuck under? Oh, I can. Oh, not even one. We did. How are the winds out there today, man?
He's on a one-fight win streak. He's fighting out of Inglewood, Colorado, and he last took on Justin James, and he won doctor stoppage in round 2 with eye injury. He lost to Kama Worthy, the guy they share an opponent that Jamie Malarkey won. He lost left hook in round 1 to Kama Worthy. But before that, he took on Dong Young Mai, beat him round 1, and Julian Erosa, who's a veteran who's really good, punches round 1. I like Devontae Smith here, man. I think that this is a chance for him to showcase his skills. He's taking on Jamie Malarkey, who will be a little bit bigger than him in height, but he will have a couple reach a couple reaches of advantage over Jamie Malarkey. So I got Devontae Smith. Who do you have, Mr. B?
Um, I was thinking about this, trying to figure it out, gauge it up. I would lean more towards Devontae Smith in this one. I think because Devontae Smith fights a little bit more smarter, not really looking to get into those crazy, wild exchanges. Keeps things pretty technical when he needs to. Uh, Uses his range a lot better. So I'm leaning more towards Devontae Smith on this. Even though I do feel Malarkey will give him a run for his money, I think Devontae Smith will get this one here, man. I'm leaning on Devontae there.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a scrap, though, so you definitely want to watch that fight between those two 155 pounders. The next fight of the night is the second women's fight of the night. Is Carol Rosa taking on Beth Correa. Correa, I can't even say her name ever right. Carol Rosa is 14-3. She's 26 years young, 5'5" with a 67.5-inch reach. She's on a 5-fight win streak, and she last took on Jocelyn Edwards and won a unanimous decision. And then she took on Vanessa Mello. You won a unanimous decision as well. And then Laura Procopio, she beat her as well. This Carol Rosa, super well-rounded, young. UFC, I think, likes her. She's taking on Beth, the Pitbull, Correa. How do you say it? Correa?
Correa. You saying it right.
11-5-1. It looks like Correa, but I know there's another way to say it, so I wanted to make sure I said it somewhat right. 38 years old, this dog is, man. She was supposed to retire fights ago. 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. She's on a one-fight losing streak. Somehow squeaks a win every now and then. She last fought versus Pani Kayanzad, and she lost unanimous.
No, I think it's fine. 3-level.
Kianzad. Eubank, she beat.
Have Rosa. I think that this is their fight to win. The sports books right now have Rosa at a 525 favorite. Holy smokes, folks!
Yeah.
Negative 525 means you got to put $525 to make 100 on Carol Rosa. So I like Carol Rosa, but not at that number. What do you say, Mr. B?
Yeah, that's a crazy number, but I can see where they're coming from with that because of how Betch fights. You know what I mean? Betch is tough. I give you that much. Correa is tough.
Yep.
But Rosa's the better, the more technical of the two. Even though Correa has fought the higher caliber opponents, Rosa has the better technique, the better striking of the two, the better combination of skill set of the two. She also trains with Jessica Andrade, so that helps in a way as well. So that boxing is getting a little bit tighter. I feel that Rosa should be the one to get this fight, man. But Correa has surprised some of us in the past, so we'll see. But I'm leaning more towards Carol Rosa on this one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Good analysis there, breaking that down, Mr. B. I'd like to shout out our active sponsor in the chat, Ted Hicks in here. Thank you for the mic drop award, my dude. I appreciate the 240 live viewers here and the 7 awards that you guys have given us while we've been spitting about the MMA this week. Sorry about the few technical glitches that have been going on. Like I said, it on our side, when you're producing it, it looks crazy when it's glitching on your production side. And so we don't exactly even know like when it glitches, if the audio is really out or if it's still coming through for you guys. So we really appreciate you being patient as we transit to live streaming. But either way, the next fight of the night is back-to-back weekends of Shevchenko, but this is Shevchenko light. Antonio Shevchenko is taking on Casey O'Neill. Antonio is 9-3. She's 36 years old. She's 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. She's on a one-fight losing streak. She fights out of Lima, Peru, and her base is Muay Thai. She last fought versus Andrea KGB Lee and lost the armbar round 2, which we cashed that bet here for Cope's Corner, baby, because I love KGB Lee. Then she took on Ariana Lipsky, and she won ground and pound round 2, but that's Lipsky. All Lipsky does is look good. And then she lost to Caitlin Chukagian, a unanimous decision when people thought that she was actually going to beat the brown belt that is Caitlin Chukagian. And so I think this is a spot for Casey O'Neill. She called it the Casey King O'Neill. They call her. She's 7-0, undefeated, 23 years young, 5'6" with a 69-inch reach. She's on a 12 fight win streak if you count her amateur career. She's fighting out of Queensland, Australia, and she last took on Laura Procopio and she won standing rear naked choke in round 3. She last then before that took on Shanna Dobson, won ground and pound round 2, and then took another girl out ground and pound round 2 named Christina Stelio in UAE Warriors 13. So this girl is looking good, dude. Casey O'Neill, she's really strong, really good stand up and good ground game. She's fierce. When she strikes, she throws with meaning and she throws to hurt you. And I like that when you see that from a female fighter. The odds right now, I have King Casey O'Neill at negative 220 over the plus 175 Antonio Shevchenko light. I actually, if I didn't bet if I didn't bet such heavy money lines last weekend, I might fire the negative 220 on Casey O'Neill to win this fight. I think that's going to be an easy W for her, but I don't want to risk the money line of the 2.2 units on a female fighter when this could be very iffy. What do you say about this bout, Mr. B?
Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of iffy. I would lean more towards Casey on this fight. I don't see. This is
You
the
there,
thing.
Mr. B? Is your
People
mic on
hype
mute?
Anthony.
There you go. You're good now.
Oh, you hear me?
You're good.
Okay. People be like, they hype. They like Antonina because she's Valentina's sister, but the skills are not the same between Valentina and
No.
Antonina. You
No.
know what I mean?
The looks aren't
And
either.
oh man. And while you talk about Antonina, and she has her striking, the Thai striking, but certain things she lacks. Casey O'Neill is the younger fighter of the two here. She does a lot of things real good. She's aggressive, but she fights real smart. She has the takedown ability. She has the good striking. You know what I mean? And she's trained in the same spots where Antonina's trained at. Mainly Tiger Muay Thai. She's taken up in Matrix Boxing, and she's in Extreme Couture, where all the wrestlers thrive at. You know what I mean? The majority of wrestlers thrive at. So she has that takedown, that wrestling
Good point.
background as well.
Good point.
So you know what I mean? She's forever improving. We see that Antonina cannot handle herself well when she's on the ground. Maybe when attacking, but defensively she is horrible. So you know what I mean?
I agree. I think that Shevchenko. How's your audio cut? It's crazy. It cut out on your audio. Cut out.
And they came
And
back.
it was fine. I still can't hear you.
I don't know. You don't hear me?
Dude, Haps is so garbage today.
Haps
I'm
is
sorry.
balling.
I'm sorry, guys, for
Haps
the
is balling.
glitching going on tonight. But I mean, what the bottom line is on this fight, Casey O'Neill, I got her to win this fight. You pretty much do too, Mr. B.
Yeah, I do.
Would you fire the $220 on her to make $100? Because I think it's worth it. I think it's a hair steep. If it was 180, I'd hit it. I'd hit it and quit it. But the two, it's just right there where it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
If you're adventurous, do it.
Yeah.
But if you just really don't want to, we don't blame you.
Yeah.
Just leaving it alone.
There's better fights to bet on this card for sure. But I think the 2.2 units is worth it on her. But a bet with your own accord. The next fight of the night is a for sure fight that is worth betting on. And I will let Mr. B break it down first, but I will introduce him. It's Joe Solecki versus Jared Gordon. What do you say about this fight, Mr. B?
This is a fun fight, man. Jared Gordon came out from the area over here, New Yorker, went to Milwaukee, trained with Rufus Sport. Now this man is actually training out of Stanford MMA. He does with Renzo Gracie, but he's been out. Stanford MMA, man, in Florida there, has improved and become a little bit more well-rounded in his overall game nowadays. Has shown off a little bit more of that wrestling and gelling those strikes. He's been a little bit tenacious now in his last two fights. Beat Fishgold beforehand, but the last fight against Danny Chavez, I was really impressed by how he totally gassed out Chavez, man, and just really had Chavez guessing twice about everything he was trying to do. A good win on his part. He's going up against Joe Solecki. Now, Joe Solecki is a terror, man. 11-2, or Gordon 17-4. Selecki's 11-2. And what we've seen from Selecki so far has been pretty damn impressive. If I remember, he beat Jim Miller. Yeah, 6 fights. This is about 6 fights or so of a win streak. He beat Hubbard. He submitted Hubbard, first off, which is hard as hell to do. He beat Wyman, which that's Wyman. Wyman's in the late years of his career right now. And he beat Jim Miller, which is tough as hell. And he showed up on the 2019 series of the contender series, the season 2019 season. Selecki. Well, I like Jared Gordon, man, but Jared Gordon can't afford to move slow in this fight. Selecki's one of those type of guys that looks to cause a little mayhem, and then once he gets you off the ball, boom, he strikes. And that damn wrestling, jiu-jitsu, that friggin' grappling combination is menacing, man.
Yeah,
So for you know what I mean?
BJJ black belt.
Yeah. So for Gordon, man, Gordon has to try to keep this fight standing and pick and choose his poison. You know what I mean? On whether if he takes the takedown, if he gets the takedown, does he want to stay in the guard of Selecki? Does he want to stay on the ground with Selecki for a long amount of time? Or should he just pop up and stay on the feet, man? It's very, 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 very risky fight here for Gordon, man. I like Gordon. So, I mean, with bias, I'm going to pick Gordon. But if it wasn't for that, you know what I mean? I'm thinking Gordon, but I think Selecki might surprise us and get a win here, man.
Yeah, I think Mr. B's got his New York love over there with the Henzo Gracie Academy over there in New York. There's a little bit of bias over there, but this is gonna be one of the few times you hear me and Mr. B disagree, and it's gonna be on a bet. But I think the little bit of if the dude was from Florida, Mr. B would have picked Joe Selecki 100%. But the fact is, Joe Selecki is 11-2. This kid is slick. He's a BJJ black belt. He's 28 years young, 5'9" with a 70.5-inch reach. He's on a 6-fight win streak, man. BJJ black belt, like I said, last took on Jim Miller, who he dominated the OG, and Austin Hubbard via rear naked choke. This dude's slick, man, and his striking is also up to par. He's taking on Jared Gordon, the Flash. I've not been too high on Jared Gordon. Call me a hater, but when everyone has substance abuse problems, as a pro fighter, I usually don't like hearing that. And Jared Gordon is very open with that, and so I don't like the little chink in his armor. So that kind of maybe I'm a little biased on that sense. Jared Gordon's 33 years old, though. He's 5'9" with a 68-inch reach. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He's fighting out of Henzo Gracie Academy usually, but he's over at Sanford MMA. He's last took on Danny Chavez, who was 11-3, and he won a unanimous decision. And he's gonna be bigger. He's 6 foot versus the 5'9" Gordon. Joe Selecki's reach is 70.5-inch reach, and Jared Gordon's is 68-inch reach. So 2.5-inch reach advantage, 3.5-inch height advantage, which should translate to some kind of a kicking advantage. And also when they get into transitions and submission attempts on the ground, I'm really high on Joe Selecki here. Right now, Bovada has the odds at a -125 money line for Joe Selecki, a +105 comeback for the underdog, Jared the Flash Gordon. This is going to be my first bet of the night. I'm throwing down $125, 1.25 units on Joe Selecki, the BJJ black belt, to do his thing and to show why the UFC wants to showcase this kid. So that'll be the first bet of the night for Cope's Corner and the last fight of the prelims. The next fight of the night will be definitely a lot of fun while it lasts, in my opinion. I also want to thank the 260 people here live tuning in to me and Mr. B rip it on the mic. Really can't thank you enough. Please like, subscribe, and tune in all over. Every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We try to be as reliable as always to give you some free bets and some good and whole fun. So really can't thank you enough for supporting us. Alexander Hernandez is taking on Mike Breeden. What do you have to say about this fight, Mr. B?
What is there to say about this fight? Alexander the Great Hernandez, man. Out of Factory X. Muay Thai up in Texas, right? If I remember correctly. Um, this guy,
Dude, it's
man, was
crazy.
in the rankings. He was in the 15. Now he's on the outside trying to get back in, man. Had a bit of a rocky road, you know. He had that he was tearing through the division. He had that rocky loss against Donald Cerrone. Had that win, that questionable win against Francisco Trinaldo. Then he got beat up by Drew Dober, beat Chris Grutzmacher, but lost to Moises, you know. The kid is fast. The kid has KO power. I think he has a bit of a wrestling, but he's just been in love with his KO ability, you know. That nasty right hand of his. Just killer power in both hands, pretty much. But he's trying to redeem himself after that last loss against Moises. Going up against Mike Breeden. Breeden is a young guy out of Glory MMA and Fitness. That's dudes like Tim Elliott, James Krause, the coach, Megan Anderson, former fighter out of there. I think she still is, but she's not fighting right now. But yeah. I didn't know much about this guy. I seen like probably like 2 fights out of LFA. But looking back and looking on his record,
He just got some really aggressive leg kicks. He looks like that I saw was Breeden
yeah,
had.
yeah, and he beat Brandon Jenkins
Oh, nice.
in LFA. Yeah, he has a KO on him by flying knee. Other than that, yeah, there's a lot of the KO TKO wins on his ledger. Last 2 fights though, he fought Nick Compton, won by unanimous decision, and Ken Beverly by knees and punches, pretty much TKO. Kind of had a rocky amateur, but most of his wins though are by knockout or TKO. Only 2 decisions in his pro run. So looking at this fight, looks like the UFC just smashed this thing up properly to try to see if they can get Hernandez back on the winning side of things again. Breeden has, based off of his coaches and who he trains with,
Freaking
we
haps, bro.
probably see a little bit of wrestling in this. He might
I wonder if
look to give
I wonder if it's
fists
cutting.
for
I
Hernandez.
think it was cutting you out again, bro. It's fucking crazy,
Yeah?
bro. I don't know.
Oh,
It's just
shit.
it's so crazy, bro. It sucks because you're
But-
like you're in full rant and you can't even get your statement finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Mike Breeden guy, he's getting a late. If this is a late notice replacement, he was Alexander Hernandez was supposed to take on someone else, Santos, and he got pulled. This is crazy though. The money line right now the betting favorite is Alexander Hernandez at a negative 550, bro.
Yeah, I
Negative
seen that.
550 is crazy for a guy
I seen that.
gets smoked, man. Mike Breeden is a plus 380 underdog. This dude has some, like I said, he's got some mean leg kicks, but he does have a little bit of a chicken leg problem that I see. I can say that having those chicken legs myself that pissed me off. So I think that his legs, as much as he likes to kick, he can be hurt. But I think that this is a chance for Alexander Hernandez to come back and win. This guy's been KO'd one time by a guy named Ivy Nixon. And so, if you've been KO'd by that guy, then Alexander Hernandez could possibly do it. I think fight doesn't go the distance, or the under here would be the best play because the negative 550 is a ridiculous number on Alexander Hernandez. So with that said, the next fight of the night on the main card is Aspen Ladd is taking on Macy Chiasson. Aspen Ladd is 9-1. She's 26 years young. Got smoked. Then she beat Sajara Eubanks. Super well rounded really good ground game does Aspen Ladd have. They were hyping her up for a long time. She's taking on Macy Chiasson, who used to fight 145 pounds. She's down in the 135-pound division now because there really is no 145-pound. She's 7-1, 30 years old. She's 5'11 with a 72-inch reach. She's on a 2-fight win streak. She's fighting out of Fortis MMA out of Dallas, Texas. She last took on Marion Renault and won a unanimous decision, and then Shanna Young, unanimous decision as well. With Macy Chiasson, she's long. She's gonna be a little bit bigger than Aspen Ladd, and she might have a chance to keep her at range. and possibly win a fight. Aspen Ladd got knocked out cold by Jeraine Durandamy. Kind of the same frame as Macy Chiasson, but nowhere near the power that GDR has. GDR hits like a man, as the tales say in the MMA world and boxing, kickboxing. So Macy Chiasson is a plus 200 underdog right now versus a girl who has plus 210 underdog versus a negative 265 Aspen Ladd. I mean, yeah, Aspen Ladd could win, but I like the dog here. I'm going to be the one weird person going with Macy Chiasson to outpoint her and be able to pick her apart. What do you say, Mr. B?
I'm gonna say this. You hear me? This is going through.
Yep.
All right.
For once.
So what it is, man, it's just pretty simple, man. Aspen Ladd can wrestle. Aspen Ladd's striking is not as clean as Macy Chiasson's striking is. But Aspen Ladd has that takedown. She's really aggressive with trying to get the takedowns. Macy Chiasson could defend the takedowns well, though. I think Macy's going to be able to know when the takedown's coming and just pretty much try to blast off on Aspen Ladd's face pretty much.
Yes.
Just to throw those, just to get a clean barrage of strikes. If you just, all you have to do pretty much to beat Ladd is to pressure her. Don't give her the space to initiate a takedown. Just pretty much just run right through her, and you'll get your win, man. The more you give Aspen Ladd space, the more you give her time to do what she does best. And if you just cut that off and just get at her, that's it. I'm a fan of Ladd, but I know these things. You can tell these things, man. Jeraine Durandamy didn't give her no space. Just pretty much knocked her out cold, you know. Knocked her out. And so Ladd has shown that even some of the best strikers, because some of the people who aren't so not the best strikers could beat her up. Sijara Eubanks did it, you know what I mean? Until Ladd managed to get the takedowns. So I think if Macy could just avoid the takedown and just pretty much just let those hands fly, she'll be fine. Do not throw no kicks at Ladd. If you want to throw a kick, throw a little low leg kick, but then use that to set up your hands, and she'll be okay. For Ladd can't give no space, space on Macy Chiasson.
I like how we both agree actually on this is a pretty big underdog, Macy Chiasson. I'm not betting on this fight, so don't get it twisted. And Lisa Harris, we appreciate you being here.
Hopefully a less than impossible level. I do like it. My garbage 64. Now, you wild.
Mike, you are. Man, I hate this. These audio different.
So he can't hear my audio when I can't hear his audio. So I don't know if you can hear him on your side as a fan. Because like I said, their production side is so bad over here with Haps lately. It's crazy to me. So I'm sorry, Lisa, if I've cut off Mr. B multiple times, because I probably have, because I don't know if it's coming through, and we're just trying to make sure there's no dead space. It's been a real problem trying to produce tonight. So I'm sorry, and I appreciate all of you guys. That one's silent. Yeah. See, like I said, Lisa, it's I can't even. I could apologize.
We're just going through.
It's a live show, so it is what it is. But the next fight of the night is Misha Cirkunov's first fight at 185 pounds, and he's taking on Krzysztof Jotko. I cannot believe that Misha Cirkunov is trying to drop down from 205 finally. After as big as he's been for as long as he's been, he's going to try and drop down to that 185 number. If he makes weight, this is going to be super interesting. Misha Cirkunov is 15-6. He's 34 years old, though. He's 6'3" with a 77-inch reach. He's on a one-fight losing streak, fighting out of Toronto, Ontario. He last took on Ryan Spawn and lost right across the ground and pound round one. Then he took on Jimmy Crute and won Peruvian necktie in round one. It looked pretty impressive. Then he took on Johnny Walker, and Johnny Walker went savagery on him, flying knee and punches round one. So very spotty, but these guys were big dudes he was fighting before that. Now he's taking on a lot smaller guys, taking on Krzysztof Jotko, who's 22-5. He's 32. He's 6'1" with a 77-inch reach himself. He's on a one-fight losing streak, fighting out of Poland. Shout out to the Poles. He last took on Sean Strickland, who we just showed you the inside training video of Sean Strickland's camp at Game Bread. Savage Sean Strickland. So he lost to Sean Strickland. You can't really blame Jotko for losing to that guy. We just showed you the video of him growling at his own freaking training partners. If he's growling at his training partners, imagine what he was doing to Jotko. So then he took on Eric Anders, won a unanimous decision, and then Marc-Andre Barriault, he won a split decision. Krzysztof Jotko is spotty, man. He leaves his chin wide open to be hit. He has been hit and he's been knocked down multiple times. I believe he lost to, was it David Branch, I think, knocked him out? Was that what happened? David Branch won a split decision, and I believe he knocked him down a few times. Either way, David Branch beat him, and so I'm not too high on that. But Krzysztof Jotko, he's spotty, man. And like I said, he leaves his chin open. Misha, if he can make this weight and he looks healthy at the weigh-ins, I would put down a submission prop possibly on Misha Cirkunov because he's so strong that I believe he can get Jotko down the ground and squeeze and pop his little neck. So look at that submission prop if Misha can actually make weight. What do you think about this fight, Mr. B?
Interesting fight. At first, I was thinking this could probably be a boring fight, but I was like, nah, I don't know. All depends on if Misha Cirkunov can make weight, man. He is a strong guy. Cirkunov is a strong guy. When he gets that grip, man, that submission grip on you, it's problems. Whether it's a rear naked or arm triangle, head and arm choke, he could get those things, man. It's problematic. Jotko makes a lot of these fights boring fights, though. You know what I mean? He has the ability to make a good fight a boring fight when he keeps you against the cage, against the fence, or mostly when he keeps you against the fence. He does this striking here and there. He gets popped quite a bit, but it's a lot of stalling, wall and stalling, somewhat you could say, with him in certain fights. But I think if Cirkunov makes the weight well, if he makes the weight well, and he just goes in there pretty much with a solid game plan, I think he could give Jotko fits, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Jotko fits. Yeah,
especially at the underdog money. I mean, right now, Jotko is the favorite at -150, plus 125 for Misha. Like I said, if he shows up on weight and he looks good and his diet is good as it is, the PI Performance Center says that he's looking good. So, they got him down cutting weight. So I really think Misha's going to look decent here, and I think he might shock Krzysztof Jotko. And Jotko's the type of guy that could be pushed over, when he's the favorite. So I think when he's the hammer, he's good, but he might be the nail versus Misha. So look at that submission prop for that fight. The next fight of the night is an absolute treat. It is violence and is my next bet of the night. We have Niko, the hybrid Price, taking on Alex Oliveira. Niko, the hybrid Price, is 14-5. He's 32 years old.
Damn you, Haps.
Fight with these two banging. Then he took on Donald Cerrone. Can you hear me, Mr. B?
I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah. I don't know what it's doing, bro. Ask Lisa. Lisa, can you hear it? Was it all good? Either way. So he last took on Michel Pereira, lost a unanimous decision in a great fight. Then he lost to Vicente Luque, and Luque, has been looking good just for a while. Lost the doctor stoppage eye injury in round 3. So, I mean, this fight right here, man, Niko, the hybrid Price, took that Michel Pereira fight when he didn't have to. And the UFC knows it. And so I feel like this is a volleyball. They're giving my boy Niko hybrid Price. He's taken on Alex Oliveira. Alex Oliveira is 22-10. He called himself the Cowboy, 22-10-1. He's 33 years old. He's 5'11" and a 76.5-inch reach. He's on a 2-fight losing streak himself. He last fought Randy Rude Boy Brown, and he lost one arm rear naked choke. That's right. One arm rear naked choke when the dude choked him and he tapped so fast that it was ridiculous in round 1. Then he lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov in a guillotine choke round 1. This dude's a tapper, McNapper. He is the type of dude I love to bet against. Niko, the hybrid Price, trains with savages. This dude is a beast. His gas tank is as high, if not higher, than Alex Oliveira's, and his jiu-jitsu. $75 money line. I'm throwing down the $175 to make $100 on Niko, the hybrid Price, to most likely sub and nap Alex Oliveira. What do you say about this fight, Mr. B?
This is gonna be a banger of a fight, man.
Banger.
It's gonna be heat, high heat. And while I say, man, Cowboy Oliveira, he's a wild man. He throws those strikes, man, and he kind of goes for the kill. He has not looked great in these past couple of fights, and a lot of it is due to his cardio issues. With that said, Nico Price, man, that's another wild boy. His chin is pretty solid, man, and yeah, he's willing to go all out for the kill. I think Nico Price has the cardio to make this a nasty fight for Cowboy Oliveira. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something of a late round submission or TKO out of Nico.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
baby.
be surprised at it. Yeah.
Nice.
Nico's just that kind of guy, man. Where that carryover, you know what I mean? Like that cardio carryover. As the rounds go, he's willing to engage. And sometimes he comes out full guns blazing in those third rounds. So yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Nico on that one.
I'm glad you agree. And when Mr. B agrees, we're definitely cashing that bet. So stay tuned next week. We'll be cashing that bet on Nico Price. I swear he's going to sub Alex Oliveira, but either way, he'll TKO him or sub him. But I believe he's going to finish Alex the Cowboy Oliveira in this fight. It's going to be really exciting. So make sure you tune into that fight. If you're going to watch one fight on the main card to start off a banger, that's going to be probably the one that's going to be the most exciting. The next fight of the night is Kevin Holland. Is the co-main event versus Kyle Daukaus, little brother of Chris Daukaus, who took out our boy the dude last weekend for our bet. So we love the Daukaus brothers. So it does not change here. But this fight's going to be a tough one. Kevin Holland, the Trailblazer, is 21-7. He's 28 years young. He's 6'3" with an 81-inch reach, man. 2-fight losing streak though, fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas. Last took on Marvin Vettori, lost unanimous decision. Pretty much got ragdolled all over the place, if I remember correctly. And then Derek Brunson, same thing, man. Wrestling is his detriment, and it's sad, but he's super excited, man. He knocked out Ronaldo Jacare Souza while he was on his butt. It was crazy, dude. It was super exciting, and I don't know how he got away with that, but he did. Kyle Daukaus, this kid's a stud, dude. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt already. He's 10-2. He's 28 years old. He's 6'3" himself. He's 76-inch reach, though, so he'll be significantly slick dude and really good himself. So can't really hate on that. This is gonna be a tough one, man. For Daukaus, I like Daukaus a lot. I think that I would. It's like I edge jiu-jitsu wise almost for Daukaus, but then like the athleticism and just the agility and the things that Kevin Holland does is scary, man. So right now the odds makers, I believe, have Kevin Holland as a slight favorite. They do at -155. So yeah, they're seeing it just Kevin Holland's experience and just what he's done in the cage, the octagon has proven. But man, I'm feeling something weird here, man. I feel like they like the Daukaus brothers. I think that the Daukaus brothers are probably the two of the best brothers to come in a long time. I'm gonna go on the flip side, and I'm gonna actually take the underdog Daukaus, and I think he's gonna win a decision. What do you think about this fight, Mr. B?
Ooh, yeah. Kyle Daukaus, man. I like Kyle Daukaus. Kyle Daukaus has the combination of that wrestling with the grappling. He strikes pretty well. He's a tough guy too, man. His chin may be one of the underrated chins in that division. Good guy, man. Really good submission skills. He is funny because he uses more of his submission skills than Chris does. But Chris has the KO power, so it's like whatever. On the other hand, here, man, Kevin Holland. We understand Kevin Holland's styles. His movements, his kickboxing, how good he is with his hands, offensively and defensively. He had these wrestling troubles, though, the grappling troubles. But the news out this week is that he was in Hendrickistan, aka training with Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks will be in his corner. He has taken up a high training on wrestling with Johnny Hendricks.
Trouble.
This is a key thing with this fight. And if he's taking this wrestling seriously, we may see a whole new, more dangerous Kevin Holland.
True, very true. If he really does have like a really improved game,
Yeah,
this is gonna be crazy for Dawkins, man. This is a tough fight for little Dawkins, dude.
right.
They must, like I said, they either see a ton of talent in this kid, like I do, or I'm just blinded by big Dawkins, and the baby Dawkins are gonna make me, think he's the baby duckling. So I'm not really sure. Um,
Word.
on this one, it's a tough one for me to pick, but I slightly edge with Dawkins just.
Mm.
But then when the Hendricka stand is kind of scary too, because if Kevin Holland actually improved, he's gonna be scary, man. This kid is so talented. I still don't think he's trained 100% ever. Like
Word.
if he's always joking around, always playing, and the people do that with it. They do it when they're nervous, and he has that energy. He shows it when he's nervous. He starts joking around, and it is what it is. He did that with Brunson when they were fighting, and it showed when he got ragdolled all over the place. So. But the next fight of the night is the main event. Thiago.
I'm gonna fight Haps. I swear to
Um, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Thiago Santos last took on Alexander Rakic and lost a unanimous decision, but Alexander Rakic is a stud, man. So I love him. Can't really hate on that. Then he took on Glover Teixeira. He lost via RNC. And then John Jones, a split decision. He's been on a tough road as Thiago Santos. I think this is the first fight.
Very quick. He's a little more caring. He's a little more caring than me. I'm not gonna lie. He's got some pretty very facial.
In England, SPG Ireland, I guess now his team is. He last took on Ryan Spahn, and he won elbows and hammer fist in round one. Then he took on Nikita Krylov and lost unanimous decision. And then Corey Anderson punches round one. And then Misha Serkinov, he beat him round one. This is a weird one, man. Johnny Walker doesn't have the best chin, in my opinion. He's got knocked out two times in his career. I don't like anyone at a heavyweight that's been knocked out that many times, but he's going to be way more aggressive, and he's going to explode a lot more than Thiago Santos. And if in round one Thiago Santos cannot be the hammer and be Thor, he's going to deflate and then be probably get caught in a Muay Thai clinch and just devastated with knees to his body and maybe his face and knocked out. This is a really tough one for me to pick, dude. I don't like betting on anyone that's on 3-fight losing streaks like Moreta Santos, but it's hard to trust Johnny Walker. But I'm gonna go with Santos. I think he's got a little more experience and he's proven a little bit more to me. But this is just a slight edge and nothing to bet on. What do you think, Mr. B?
Yeah. This is really not. It's really not one of these fights.
You there, B?
Yeah. You hear me? Yep. Mike, you hear me? Do you hear me, Mike?
Mr. B there?
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. Damn this Haps.
Haps is terrible. Man. Sorry, guys. We appreciate you here. There's 300. There's 306 people. We appreciate you live.
Word, man. We're sorry for this, man, but Haps is walling. But yeah, man.
Lisa, can you hear Mr. B right now?
Yeah.
Type yes.
What I was gonna say? Y'all hear me? So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Santos, Walker, as you said, tough fight to pick who will win. Santos is on a 3-fight losing streak, right? Walker just picked up a win against Ryan Spann. I don't know how do you gauge this fight. I think this don't go past 3 rounds though. That's what I think. Even if it gets past 2 rounds, is a miracle. I want to lean more towards Santos because of the experience. But if Santos ends up gun shy, man, though it's gonna end up being Walker taking this, man. Walker has is he Walker? Walker has a crazy reach in this one, right? Yeah, 82-inch reach, 6'6". Damn, man. Santos can't be gun shy in this, or he's gonna lose this fight. Um, as far as takedowns go, I believe more in Walker trying to go for a takedown than Santos. Um, Santos, as I said, he can't be gun shy. I hope he has that full movement and whatnot, to strengthen his leg, man. And, you know what I mean, and that leg that he had injured, and he goes in here 100% and just looks to be patient and land those shots on Walker. Walker's a guy who kind of likes to fight his fight, but creates chaos to get the advantage at times. So, Matt Walker has the range. Santos should try to go for a takedown, but as I said, I don't think he's going to go for a takedown. I think Walker might go for a takedown if he doesn't catch something explosive early. I want to say Santos, man, but I think Walker might surprise people and get a win here, man. But
this is a tough one, right?
I would lean towards Santos, man, but because of his last 2 fights, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And Walker beating fans.
I know it's really hard. It's really hard to tell what's going to happen on this bout here. But with that said, I just think that, like I said, this is going to be really exciting, though. These two are going to go at it in that first round. And Johnny Walker's chin is unreliable to me. But Thiago Santos, once again, he's getting older. And he seems like one of those guys that he gets hit. And he looks like Derek Lewis he gets hit and he kind of backs up and he plays possum a little bit. And I just don't like the look of him mentally. So I think that maybe I have to go with Walker's athleticism then. But just his chin would.
I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
His chin scares the hell out of me, man. So normally we have a much clearer edge on that, but I don't have a bet on it, so I do not give a shiznit. But with that said, man, we appreciate you, all 316 of you here live, watching us and ripping through this MMA stuff. Lisa Harris asked if we could talk more about the Nick Diaz fight. Man, it's like I don't even want to talk about it because it makes me so sad, Lisa. It's like he does have a lot more to give. I feel like that wasn't even close to all of himself. He didn't look like he was there from fight week and on, man. His his anger, he wasn't talking.
Dad wears, there's only one color. I can only wear a freaking pink polo shirt. We have no more colors.
Oh shoot, it went out again.
Oh wow. Oh gosh. Whoa, anime. He looks like an anime character. Hey, okay, here's something.
And good boxing. He showed some really decent boxing. He had some real he had some decent moments, but I mean Lawler had it on lock the whole entire time. Quick question: when is Rose fighting? I asked about the fight half hour ago. Yeah, I know. We can't stop the middle of a card to talk about questions, Lisa.
Sorry. I think it's UFC 268. November.
Yeah.
November 6th. Yeah.
That's correct. So
yeah.
But yeah, man. So with that said, we want to just thank all of you guys here, the 320 you live, the 8 awards, all the sponsors here that make this what it is. Mr. B, the MMA guy, I can't thank you enough for being here with me as always.
Problem.
And
No
until next time, we will come back and we hope you cash those bets. So to further ado, peace.
Are you ready? Break it down! Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. Back a break, boy. Yeah. Back a break, little man. Break it down. Think you can tell me what to do? Know who you're talking to?